Good afternoon and welcome to Williams Dog Training Company. We're here today with Fred and Odie, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is Odie's ability to understand and respond to his obedience commands, the corrections and motivations that we give him while we are working with him, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand, leaving the left hand free to give the correction. The correction that we give is a tug and let go on the training collar, which is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Odie's been fitted with his own personal training collar, and we'll show you the proper way to use this when you're here for your one-on-one lesson. Odie is sitting very nicely on Fred's left, which is where all our obedience training is done. The first exercise we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash. Fred and Odie are taking off doing that now. The command is Odie, heel. Odie should stay nicely on your left-hand side without pulling or lagging behind. And incorporated into this is an automatic sit. When Fred stops his feet, Odie should sit. There's an automatic sit for you. The next exercise we're going to demonstrate is the stay command. The stay is a hand and voice command. Fred is going to use the open flat of his left palm about an inch or so from Odie's muzzle and the one-word command to stay. He then walks out to the end of the training leash.
No.
Odie broke the command there and went down. So Fred gave him a no, a correction, and puts him right back into it. You always want to follow through on your commands. Make sure Odie does them for you. So Fred puts him in the sit stay out to the end of the leash. It's a good one to practice for a minute up to 3 minutes. When Fred goes back to Odie, he walks all the way around him and back into heel position, and Odie should remain seated nicely until given another command. And they're off heeling again. We'll demonstrate the heel, sit, and stay for you one more time. There's an automatic sit. Gives him the stay out to the end of the training leash. This time he uses the recall or the come command, calls Odie in with a nice voice. Odie comes in, sits nicely in front of Fred. And then we have an exercise called the finish, where Odie heels around the back of Fred and back into heel position, seated nicely on the left-hand side.
No. Stay.
We're going to demonstrate that again for you. Puts him in the sit stay, out to the end of the leash.
Odie, come.
Calls him into him. Odie comes in nicely, sits, and now he'll do the finish by heeling around the back of Fred and back into heel position. Nice job. We do recommend that you practice all of your commands about 15 to 20 minutes a day, be it inside or outside. It keeps the commands fresh in Odie's mind. Now we're going to show you our down commands. The first is down from a heel position. Fred is going to use the open flat of his palm straight down towards the ground and the one-word command to down. He then puts him in a stay and goes out to the end of the leash. It's a good one to practice starting at 3 minutes and working your way up to 5. When Fred returns back to Odie, he's going to walk all the way around him as he did in the sit stay, and Odie will remain in a down until given another command. And they're off heeling again. This time he's going to put him in the down again, and a stay, out to the end of the leash. And he'll use the recall command to call him in with his name. He comes in, sits nicely in front of Fred, and then he'll do the finish again, going around the back of Fred and back into heel position. We'll give them a second to get lined up for the down from a distance, which is our final command. This time Fred will leave Odie in a sit stay and go out to the end of the leash. This is the only time. Oh, you broke the command. You got to no.
Stay.
Puts him back in the sit stay. It's the only time you use your right hand straight to the ground and say down, and Odie goes down nicely. Fred will return back to him and back into heel position. Now we know one of Odie's concerns is working around another dog. So we're going to have Barry and Sedona come in and run through a few commands along with Fred and Odie. And there comes Barry and Sedona. Now they're all heeling near each other. Without incident. Got them both in a seated position. And even though Odie might look at the other dog, there's no aggressive tendencies, there's no going at the other dog. He's completely under control with Fred. Okay, they're both in seated position. And now they're going to heel around together again. Odie's going to heel around Sedona while she stays seated. He knows there's another dog there, but he's concentrating on Fred and listening to Fred's commands. Now Sedona's going to heel around Odie. And he may glance at her, but he's not going to try anything. He's completely under control with Fred. He's doing excellent with other dogs around him. And goes right into a down. Listens to all of Fred's commands, whether there's another dog around him or not. Even the down from a distance, with Sedona a couple feet away from him. Excellent job. We've demonstrated for you all the commands Odie has learned here at school. It's been a pleasure working with Odie, and thank you again for choosing Williams Dog Training Company as your personal dog trainer.